Hello everyone, this is Fantasy Ask, and welcome back to the Vampire Clan in ClanGen, the Warrior Cats clan generator game. When we left off in the previous episode, we had a ton of wonderful news. First off, we got the pregnancy notice from Quiet Flight, and found out, essentially, that the Nightstalkers mate is expecting kittens, which was so thrilling. But on top of that, we had our 3 fledglings become Mistwalkers. So they had their ceremonies, we got to see them as young adults, and the clan felt like it was growing and thriving. It is now Moon 30, we are in Leaf Fall, and guys, things have just all of a sudden taken a turn for the worse. So let's get into it and see what exactly has been happening within the clan. Okay, first up in the Leader's Den, we still have our 2 hostilities with Wind Clan, Gossamer Clan, and our neutrality with Day Clan. And you can kind of see that Shivering Star is not doing too well, and there's a reason why he's not doing too well. So Master Burnleaf is having to take over, leadership duties temporarily. But let's actually go, guys, and take a look at what's been happening in the clan. A tension-thick air hangs low over the Gossamer clan border until Grandmaster Shivering Star finally declares a war with Gossamer clan. So Shivering Star, I think this is actually one of the first few times that the vampires themselves have declared war on the vampire hunters. Typically, it is the hunters who are constantly after us and pulling us into battles and wars with them. And obviously, Shivering Star isn't going to back down. But this was one of the first few times that Shivering Star didn't hold back, and he kind of felt as though, the clan was kind of getting strong enough that the vampires can start challenging the vampire hunters and maybe trying to expand their borders a little bit more. I don't know. But Shivering Star made a bit of a push, thinking that everything behind him, everything in the ruins, was going to be fine. And then, not long after, Shivering Star got a stomach ache. So Shivering Star has gotten a stomach ache. And then Lightsong has gotten a white cough, and we know how dangerous all of the coughs can be, so I'm very worried about Lightsong right now. This is not good, coming off the news that we are in yet another war. We had a little bit of respite with Quiet Flight, who hopes the litter will be small. She feels overwhelmed at the idea of a big litter. Despite her protests, Quiet Flight begrudgingly agrees to settle in the nursery. Her clanmates make it clear that they can spare her till the kits arrive. And then, guys, Dusty Cave died from a snake bite. Dusty Cave, who got bitten a couple episodes back, miraculously survived, and we were hoping was on the path to recovery, didn't make it. I think she was very quietly fading away in the medicine cat den over the last episode, and she couldn't hold on any longer and succumbed to probably the poison in that snake bite, or the venom, in that snake bite, which makes me so sad because I know how, aside from the fact that she is now the second and final child of Shivering Star to die, it feels, I don't know, Shivering Star, he's led life in a certain way, and he has no legacy to leave for it, there's no family of his remaining in a lot of ways as a consequence to the choices maybe that he's made in terms of his vision for the clan. Both his children have died, his mate has also passed on, and it's sad, it's really sad. His legacy has not lived on in any way. He is the first and last of his line, if you think about it. And this reminds me a lot of Lupine Star in our Luminous Clan series, who was the only cat left standing at the very end when we finished that particular clan. We finished that story. And, her mate had passed on before her. She lost her only child as well. I think she only had one daughter and she lost her daughter. And she lived a very, very long life. It kind of feels like Shivering Star is kind of having the same almost outcome. He's living a very long life, but not necessarily a successful one. And that aside from, this thing with Shivering Star, Dusty Cave also had this bond with Lightsong, and they had a really good, strong friendship going on. She had this lovely crush on Lightsong, and she was actually very encouraging of Lightsong throughout the recent, mentorship that we had going on. And I think in contrast to Burnleaf, Dusty Cave was a little ray of light for Lightsong when she was going through the aches and pains of trying to figure out how to teach a fledgling. And now, Dusty Cave's no longer there. And I also, it makes me sad to think that maybe in the last episode, Dusty Cave, even though she was probably deteriorating very fast, didn't want to say anything to anyone because she didn't want to take the attention away from Lightsong and Lightsong's apprentice, Fire Ivy, becoming a Mistwalker. She didn't want to distract Lightsong and make Lightsong any more nervous about the ceremony, and she didn't, like Dusty Cave didn't want to take away from the celebrations, so she, quietly in her corner wasted away, and that makes me so sad. That makes me so sad. I knew the snakebite was deadly, but I was still hoping she would recover. I don't think I was prepared for her to actually die. Oh, Dusty Cave. And I think the timing is also terrible because Shivering Star has just declared a war with the vampire hunters, and now he is in no condition to fight that war, and his child has died. Grandmaster Shivering Star is rocked by the loss of Dusty Cave. All those memories and shared moments are now burdens that he must carry alone. The loss takes such a toll on him that he can barely find his footing as he stumbles to his nest, wailing for Dusty Cave. The past moon, Dusty Cave has taken their place in Star Clan. Vampire Clan mourns their loss, and their clanmates will miss the spot they took up in their lives. Moments of their life are shared in stories around the circle of mourners, as those that were closest to them take them to their final resting place. And she was so young too. Dusty Cave was so young. She outlived her sister Songkit, who only died I think at 2 moons, but still she had barely any life at all. Oh, these brief lives that we come across from time to time is also another reason why I like playing at the pace that I play, because if I was, zooming through these moons any faster, then we might not have gotten to know Dusty Cave that much before she passed on. Dusty Cave would have been like a flicker, in the grand scheme of our story. But because we go at the pace that we do, we actually got to spend a decent amount of episodes with her from the moment she was born, and we learned quite a bit about Dusty Cave. We got to see all these different dynamics to her. We got to see her bond with her father. We got to see how she overcame not being his favorite and living up to his expectations. We got to see her have a crush on Lightsong and, the exciting little moments between them that Lightsong never really, I think, returned or reciprocated in a romantic light, but still, they had a good friendship going on. We learned so much about Dusty Cave that even when she leaves us, even when she dies so young, she's a cat that hopefully we will remember. Dusty Cave. Okay, so that's all we had for the major events. As you can see, the cats. Shivering Star is in mourning. Lightsong has white cough. Quiet Flight is in the nursery because, she's expectant. So the clan is down. Guys, the clan not only is emotionally down, but we also down to just 10 cats. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys. Okay, let's take a look at the medicine cat den. See what's happening on this front. Dusty Cave was given marigold as treatment for snakebite. They will heal sooner. So obviously, even Hazelpelt wasn't expecting Dusty Cave to die. Nobody really was. Hazelpelt, as the Nightstalker, was kind of sure that he had everything he needed to help her get better, and that she would get better. The signs were looking fine. And she didn't even tell anyone that she was feeling worse. But then, she did pass away, and Rosemary was used for Dusty Cave's body. Hazelpelt could not find any herbs this moon, obviously because I think he was very taken up with the, treatment of Dusty Cave and then losing her. Would have been very distracted with that. But okay, let's take a look at relationships. See if maybe we can get a timeline for Dusty Cave and what she was doing before she passed, although she might have not interacted with any of the cats at all, because she might have just, like I said, been wasting away in the medicine cat den, not wanting to bother anyone. Blue Jay and Master Burnleaf talk about what they see in the clouds. These two, I don't feel like I've seen them spend too much time together since they broke up, so it's kind of good to see them being able to talk with each other normally once more. Blue Jay can't help but smile, seeing Quiet Flight smile. Obviously we know she still has feelings for Quiet Flight. An issue becomes benign when Master Burnleaf remembers Dusty Cave's advice. Okay, so I think Dusty Cave did manage to spend some time with the cats before she passed. So she had obviously spoken to Burnleaf, who knows, might not even be this moon, but moons ago, and Burnleaf kind of remembered her advice for something. And then later on, Burnleaf, Master Burnleaf, Dusty Cave, and Fire Ivy took a sun bath and had a little small talk, which is very nice. So she got to spend some time with the two of them. Maybe she was, I think Dusty Cave, who gets along better with Burnleaf, but also wanting to be supportive of Lightsong, maybe wanted to check up on Fire Ivy and ask her how the ceremony was, and so the three of them ended up spending time together and talking. Fire Ivy challenges her father, Burnleaf, Master Burnleaf, to a race. I love this. The father-daughter relationship is really strong here, and we do know that Fire Ivy is Burnleaf's favorite daughter. Twilight Fade does something brave with Lightsong's support. So Twilight Fade and his former fledgling getting along quite well. Sunnytail says he hopes Twilight Fade has a nice day. Grandmaster Shivering Star is giving Twilight Fade a task. Grandmaster Shivering Star shared an embarrassing story about Quiet Flight he was asked not to share. Sunnytail compliments Lightsong's name. Quiet Flight hears Dusty Cave purring during a nap. Oh, so Quiet Flight. She probably went by the medicine den just a little bit, or it could be that she has, yeah, I suppose. Maybe she went to the medicine cat den to get some relieving herbs, and she heard Dusty Cave purring. Oh, during a nap. Hazelpelt doesn't think the object that Dusty Cave asked him to find is real, so Dusty Cave is creating stories over here because, she's probably bored in the medicine cat den and wanting to socialize with the other cats. Oh, Dusty Cave. She's trying to engage all the cats that spend time in the medicine den or come into the medicine den somehow. Dusty Cave says something vulnerable to Hazelpelt. Oh my goodness, I wonder if Dusty Cave felt that she was dying and she said so to Hazelpelt, but Hazelpelt, who I think is a very positive thinking Nightstalker who has a lot of belief in his abilities and has not failed anyone thus far, told her, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. You're just saying that, but you're gonna be fine. I have everything to make you fine. You're gonna be with us. You're gonna be okay. The snake's not gonna be able to do anything to you. If you had to go, you would have gone the moment, or the moon had bit you, but you survived this long, you'll survive beyond this. Oh. Owlfeather is tired of all the pranks the Grandmaster Shivering Star pulls on her. Sunnytail swaps favorite prey with his sister Fire Ivy, which is very nice to see. I've noticed Sunnytail spends more time with Fire Ivy, but not with Owlfeather. It's almost as though Owlfeather doesn't really like hanging out with her brother, but Owlfeather, she likes hanging out with her sister Fire Ivy, and Fire Ivy kind of gets along with both of them. Fire Ivy wishes she could get her pelt to shine like Owlfeathers, and then, of course, Dusty Cave passed on. So actually, Dusty Cave had a lot of interaction with the clan in this particular episode before she went. And by the looks of it, nobody really thought at all that she was gonna go. Everyone was treating her normally because they felt as though she would recover. The snake bite was just like a minuscule thing. Oh my goodness. Okay, that is all we have for the events. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with the cat list. Okay, let's continue with the cat list. First up, we have loyalties, where there has been a slight change. So Alfeather has actually joined her siblings in becoming a loyalist of Shivering Star, but I don't think there's any particularly noble intentions behind it, like that of Fire Ivy and Sunnytail. I think Alfeather feels bad for Shivering Star, given that Dusty Cave has died recently, and Alfeather, you know, has grown up around Dusty Cave. She was familiar with Dusty Cave, spent time with her, knew her, and now Dusty Cave is no longer with us. So Alfeather obviously is feeling sad over Dusty Cave's death, but also I think just feeling bad for the situation that Shivering Star is in, regardless of how she feels about him politically. So there is that. And then there was one change in relationships that I took note of. That was with Blue Jay. Blue Jay has had a bit of a romance gain with Quiet Flight. We know they've been spending a little bit of time together. Blue Jay, you know, she saw Quiet Flight smiling and she couldn't help but smile. She's feeling really good, probably because Quiet Flight is getting excited to have her kittens. But I think the other thing that I'm a little bit worried about with Blue Jay is that she, a few moons ago, you know, was misunderstanding maybe her relationship with Quiet Flight just a little bit. And I'm wondering whether Blue Jay is holding Quiet Flight's timeline in parallel to her own, and she's maybe reflecting on the fact that not too long after she gave birth, she and Burnleaf broke up, and maybe she's thinking that her wait is finally going to be over after Quiet Flight and Hazelpelt have their kittens. You know, they are going to fulfill that relationship, and then Quiet Flight is going to become available again for Blue Jay. I don't know. I hope that is not the case, but I kind of feel like Blue Jay is maybe misunderstanding some things over here, and she's looking forward to something that might not come to pass. Yeah, so there is that. And we obviously don't have any whispering to do, so let's just go ahead and see how all the cats are doing for the day. Grandmaster Shivering Star guards camp even though he is grieving and can barely think straight, because he's the one who declared a war on the vampire hunters, and he's the one who kind of has to, you know, live through it and help pull the clan through it. Master Burnleaf is hoping he finds an opportunity to slip back to his nest. Hazelpelt is having a nice conversation with the cats guarding camps. I imagine he's having a conversation with the Grandmaster. Probably trying to support the Grandmaster as well and make sure that his health doesn't fail him, given that he's not feeling too good but is still insisting on guarding the camp. Twilight Fade is wondering what living with two legs must be like. Blue Jay is craving the taste of mouse. Quiet Flight is glad it's not so hot out anymore. Light Song is batting at a beam of sunlight. Alfeather is hoping she finds an opportunity to slip back to her nest. Okay, is she hanging out with her father? She is! Okay, Alfeather and Burnleaf have actually gotten quite close over the course of, you know, them being mentor and fledgling. But that's kind of cute, they're spending time together. And we did see that they had the strongest bond out of all of the youngsters. Fire Ivy also guards camp. Okay, so Fire Ivy is actually helping out the Grandmaster with guarding camp. She's stepping up. Look at her. And Sunnytail had a nice chat with a kitty pet. I'm wondering if the kitty pet he talked with was Crunchy. You know, the half initiate we have that's not completely, you know, living on the mountains, but sometimes is here, sometimes is back with his two legs. Okay, so that's all we have for the cat list. Let me cut the recording here and we'll continue with patrols. Okay, let us resume with our patrols. It is very strange to see like a very small number of cats ready to head out when I have been used to a lot more participating over here. But we currently have 108.3 prey. We need 29. We're going to send off our Nightstalker Hazelpelt first off to see what he can gather in the night. With Leaffall washing the world in tones of red and brown, Hazelpelt feels the need to gather as many elder leaves as possible before the season turns and the clan must survive without new stocks during Leaf Bear. There's a particular tree in a sheltered dip along a stream he wants to check on today. Proceed. Elder leaves being used to soothe sprains and elder leaves having to be gathered in a way that risks sprains is truly one of StarClan's little ironies, Hazelpelt reflects. You know what's funny? I remember this little piece of text in the beginning when I started playing ClanGen. I don't know why. I was just so confused by what this was saying, but it's pretty clear and pretty obvious, you know? That elder leaves, they soothe sprains. But then, to gather them, you have to put yourself in positions that probably is going to give you a sprain, which for some reason I couldn't work out beforehand, but, you know, I worked it out eventually. Elder leaves and juniper were gathered, so he had a good day out, which I think was different to last time, where he could barely get anything done. And now we are sending out our patrol of 5, with Sunnytail, Fire Ivy, Owl Feather, Blue Jay, and Burnleaf. Oh my goodness, guys! It's the entire family! The entire family's going out. I don't think they've ever been on a family outing. This is the first one. Okay, let's see what they get up to. It starts snowing soon after the patrol sets out, trying to bring back something for the fresh kill pile. Proceed. The prey must be hiding. The patrol catches nothing. As a snowstorm descends and visibility drops, the patrol clumps together and retreats into a tiny mountain cave, their pelts and tails and legs all tightly wrapped into one indistinguishable kitty cat ball. Okay, so they didn't get anything done, but hopefully they bonded a little bit since this was a family outing. The first family outing they've ever had, and I feel like it's interesting that was it in this episode? Hold on a second, it was in this episode that Blue Jay and Master Burnleaf were also like talking to each other normally again, and actually, you know, sitting and spending time with one another. So it's kind of nice that we were able to tie that nicely into them going out on patrol together as a family. And maybe they also, you know, felt the need to reinforce. I mean, they were the only cats available, but I think this would have been a good thing for them to reinforce their own bonds, given that the Grand Master has just lost his last family member. It would make them appreciate each other more. But okay, that is what we managed to get done today, guys. With that said and done, I am going to leave off here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, even though it was a little bit sad, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.